Hello, welcome to Christianity Explained, where my goal is to share biblical principles and ideas that you can perhaps apply to your daily life. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen. Today, I have an interesting topic, and it is one that I've actually struggled with for quite a while before I just settled on this. Have you ever had something like a roadblock or something that you go smashing into, like a struggle, a burnout, or perhaps it's not like a writer's block. Okay, I can't write, but more like you were doing something you kind of enjoyed to a point, but after a while it felt like a prison. Like, oh my god, I hate this thing, and you need to walk away because it's painful. It's not fun. Now I'm gonna get to the specific uh, as it relates to me. But the reason for the board is so you guys who are watching can say, "Oh, wait a minute. I may not dealt with you, but I know what you're talking about." It's not so much a roadblock. It's more like you go, "Boom! I think I just hit a wall," and kind of what it is with me, and burnout, frustration, all kinds. And that's what I have been dealing with for a few years, quite a few years. After I started a blog I called Inspiration Point. You see, I just didn't just walk away because, oh, I'm tired of this thing. It feels like a prison. I was hitting a burnout. And a lot of that burnout came from a sense of confusion, frustration. Like, is this really my calling? Or am I pursuing something other people have told me, "Oh, Bear, you'd be great over here. You'd be great." Yeah. After all, your mess is your method. Yeah. There is grains of truth in it, but it's not entirely true. You may be looking at me and say, "Well, yeah, Bear, you'd be great for reaching people with disability." Why? Because you're looking at me and thinking I would? Wait. Truth is, I have a feeling some of the people who meant, I'm sure they meant well, but I have a funny feeling that the issue might be that God was calling them into that. Because now, how did this relate to? Easy. Part of the reason I ran into my burnout period is because I took a direction that seemed good, and it was based in part on a vision that God gave me a long time ago. And that was I was looking at a book and I see pages of writing, then blank. Then it faded to or transitioned over to me working on a computer doing something. I actually didn't see what I was doing. It just assumed I was writing on it. Then a couple of books. That was the vision. Did you notice that I said nothing about, well, YouTube videos didn't show up yet. It was 1997. The internet was just with ablaze and doors of opportunity was opening up. And it seemed like a great idea. Okay, uh, let me try writing thing for magazines. Uh, Gee, everybody wants you to be a pastor. Everybody wants these certificates. Wait, so an idea came going, and I tried to find something. and it was kind of a challenge. And yes, I went to, yeah, and I think I did make a couple of left turns, and it didn't always start at Albuquerque. Now here's where some of the problems started. This isn't a blame. It really is a reflection of insecurity in myself. Okay, I was relying on others to tell me what it is that God was calling me to do. It sounds good, especially if you think if you're talking with people who've been at this a lot longer. But actually, it isn't. The best advice I got initially was, "Bad, why don't you spend time in the prayer room?" Okay, my brain and my mind were thinking it one way, but it was really the best advice. It wasn't that I needed to commit myself to praying for others. It was the idea of learning how to pray, how to seek the Father's face, to seek His face, and to learn to listen to what He's saying. That was the whole point. It was one of the skills I had to develop, and they were right on that respect. And that's one of the ways I had. That was one of the things I had to learn, and it proved helpful in overcoming some of the aspects of burnout. That's one. Two, the insecurity led me vulnerable to well-meaning but not necessarily the right advice. Sure, it sounds great. Uh, people thought my mess, what they thought my mess was somehow my message. There's just one problem. This wasn't my message. My depression was my message. My overcoming fear of rejection is the message. Social anxiety, the message. All those things that are common to everybody else was the message, and how the Lord helped me to overcome that message. Something, and it just so happened this added to the flavor in such a way it helps people say, wow, this guy has a unique perspective, something you don't see every day. Oh, that was part of the message. And it's why I enjoy sharing things. That's actually a clue to what my passion is. And that's also important in helping you to overcome burnout. So, but what about the writing, you might say? Especially if you were listening to what I said at the beginning. It wasn't wrong, an interpretation. So I have a feeling what God was saying wasn't necessarily the same as what I said. He didn't say, Bob, write a blog or create a website, host your site. I actually never saw them to find out, but I was trusting uh, prophetic types and others to say, yeah, this is what you call. Actually, no, I have a feeling what the Lord was really saying is, this is what you're called to do. Not the blog, not the website, but what you were doing with the tool. And that was encouraging, empowering, and sometimes confronting. Wow. Mm. See, sometimes it's okay to take that wrong turn at Albuquerque. I'm going to have so much fun with that because you learn over the way. Hmm. Now, guys, I may be talking about the thing that God was doing with me, but keep in mind, it's also related to you. You could have a music career. You could be like saying, oh, I want to do something with the music I have. Okay? Same principle is the same. Look at the evidence. Look at the fruit of your endeavor in doing. Perhaps you have a hunger for cooking and love sharing how you're doing something like that. There's so many different ways. Just look at the evidence. Mm, yeah. And here's another thought was this: be open to the possibility that while you may have taken the left turn at Albuquerque, but there may be another route to go to where God's actually calling. Yes, I will eventually get my butt back in gear with the book writing. I have a feeling that was the correct one. He was just using the blogging as so I could learn some lessons that were important and to overcome, some errors. So how did YouTube get into this mix? How did this wonderful world of sitting in front of a webcam, where the heck did that come from? Very simple, really. It is. In the morning, I would wake up, and sometimes I feel like sharing. I want to communicate, and I like being animated, and that's part of my personality. My passion for a topic grows, it's like, okay, I'm getting animated, I'm getting excited, and you see it. That's why you're seeing my hand go up like this. Because sometimes I do that. And it shows. But it's hard for me to convey that when I'm writing. I try to a certain extent, yes, it shows, but not the way I'm really wanting. Oh. But I felt trapped in the writing, in the blog writing, because I felt like, okay, well, I'm being told this. I'm being told well-meaning advice, but not necessarily. But yet God who called me into was opening the doors, but I needed to learn something, and YouTube wasn't there yet. Plus, I needed to get the finances and things like that. There was a lot of things I had to do. I have a feeling if I had tried doing this in 2010, it might have been a little bit more prone to disaster because I wasn't ready. Oh, yeah. But over time, the Lord led me to the real direction which He would call. It is not wrong to take that left turn. It's not wrong. What's wrong is this: refusing to take a risk, refusing to say, okay, let's try it. I have wonderful friends who have told me that God can't steer a parked car. You have to be moving. True. God's not gonna can't steer. It's not gonna try to steer a parked car, and you can't steer a parked car either. Okay. So any atheists, hello. I get that one too. But are you getting the idea? This is part of my natural. Because I like wisecracking. I like that's how I enjoy. Because it's part of my own real personality. But as you take a step forward, so what about the burnout feeling? Well, that actually occurred around 2013, 14, shortly after my mom was checked into a nursing home and I had all that drama. I started, a lot of things started going down and violent. I guess I was becoming more aware that I needed to stop. And that's why I had to walk away from the blog for a while. I had to kind of get away from that. Yeah, I wrote a book, my memoir, my first one. Uh, and yes, I went through some wonderful inner healing classes that I would happily recommend. uh, my church offered some two. Actually, it was Transform, which is the main one. Wonderful way to do more than just reconnect with God, but reconnect with who you are in God's eye, learning that you have significance and dealing with a lot of the stuff that are going on inside. I would recommend that. I'd also recommend something else my home church gets involved in, and that is Bethel Sozo. Before somebody opens their mouth, just we'll find out what it actually is. It's about being reconnected with the Father. Okay? It's, that's all it is. And learning that, wow, what God is actually saying. It's a beautiful thing, and it was very helpful. And it had. But it's up to you to make a choice. What am I going to do with this? Am I going to think, wow, that's nice, and forget all about it? Or am I going to do something with it? Again, it's really up to you, not the people doing that. They'll help you, but it's up to you. Same thing as it was for me. What am I going to do with it? Well, it was helping me to overcome fear. That's one of the things that showed up. And I thought, in due course, started breaking it off. Part of what doing this does. Again, I happily recommend check with your home church or check with one that's nearby that does have those kind of inner healing that actually helps you. Those are good things. All right, be open. Ask first. That would be my suggestion. But I'm going to tell you this. First, look upward. Yeah, pray at the Father. Jesus, what should I do? What is best to help me with my issue that I can get out of this burnout, get out of the prison that I felt I was in? That is a good starting point. To start with the Lord first. Now, before running out to a favorite what if Bethel Sozo transformed? I'm sure there's probably a dozen others out there. That I'm sure there's something. Please don't tell me that the evangelical community don't have something. All right. If not, guys, hello, people are hurting. There's a reason we're to those things. Okay. Now there's another issue that does come up, and I want to, and I saved it for last for a very specific reason. Perhaps you kind of went through that. You got some of those inner healing, perhaps starting to get in. You might be asking the question, was it wasted? No, it's not wasted. I would ask that the Father, the Holy Spirit, would show you what was done and what He can do with it. Trust Him to set things straight. Trust Him to guide you and to give you the revelation. Trust Jesus to show you what's what. All right? And I know that's scriptural because, one, He says, I will never leave you or forsake you. I am with you to the end of the age. Hello? It sounds like if he's going to be there, I would think he's going to help you along the way. The Spirit is guiding us and instructing us. Hello? Look at all the promises of God and those that we can count on. And there are a lot of great promises. Yes, there are some curses too, but there are also a lot of good promises. Yeah. And know that, yes, there are ways that are specific to His design. That's the world system. Okay? Please keep that part in mind. Check with what God is saying, not man. Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you for your time. I hope this message was of value and a blessing. And until next time, see you when I see ya.